We're here at the Tour de France in Nice. We're not at the tour. We watched the start of stage 20. Laurence was looking out my window. We're now watching it on TV. I am joined by the next big thing in New Zealand cycling. He absolutely killed it at the Classics this year. If you're watching any of the Classics, most people only watch one Classic, Roubaix, where you would have seen Laurence just hip and shoulder the turf at a pretty high speed. But Laurence Pithie, welcome to the Train Like a Monk podcast.
Thanks for having me, mate.
So you're someone that I've raced against quite a bit, and you're someone that I see in peloton until it gets hard, and then I don't see you anymore because I'm generally going backwards and you're generally off the front attacking with the best boys. You're doing that this year probably more than you ever have before at this level, at the top level. So the Classic season for you, I'd say, was a really big step up. What went into making that step up this year?
Well, for me, it probably started back home in New Zealand over summer between the 2023 and 2024 season.
Yep.
Got back in the gym, knuckled down a bit, and just enjoyed riding my bike back home, and managed to go over to TDU with some good form, and then carry it into Europe, which was good.
So I guess you took the win then straight after TDU at Cadel's race, and did you have to use that confidence? Did you use that confidence coming into the Classics, or did you have that confidence already just based off the training you'd been doing?
Definitely use the confidence coming off the Classics. I mean, it's always hard to know where you're going to be at coming from the racing in Australia, because it's not the same as racing in Europe, is it? It's quite different. And for me, you have some guys each year that are flying in Australia, and then you don't see them for the rest of the year in Europe. So I think I was probably more nervous about being one of those guys. It was more just about consolidating what I'd done in Australia and trying to lift as well in Europe.
And the training that you were doing in New Zealand before coming into that, was it more the standard, like, long endurance Ks? Were you doing anything differently this season to previous years?
I think nothing really changed at the core base. Everything was still pretty similar. Probably increased the hours a little bit, but then also I find that happy bike rider is a good bike rider, and
definitely
in New Zealand it's pretty hard to be sad. So it was good. It was easy to train around there, and always nice to get out early in the mornings and do an hour or two before meeting the boys, and training's easy there.
And then another thing I've probably picked up on, and people that are close to you might have picked up on, that others might not have seen when you've just burst onto the scene, but this is probably the first year where you've had a good clean run without injuries, I'd say.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I've known you a few years now, and pretty much on 2 or 3 month basis, you're taking 3 weeks off the bike from an injury. So has that been something that you've been conscious of, has made a big difference?
Yeah, it's probably the biggest thing, actually. It's probably the first time I've had consistent training over probably 2 or 3 months period without getting hit by a car or crashing on a descent or something stupid like that. So definitely that's probably been the biggest change. It's just staying on my bike and not coming off all the time.
And did you have that confidence that, like, were you thinking before, if I can just have this smooth run, I'll be able to get to that level? Or you're not thinking about that so much, you're just trying to put in the work anyway?
It's just trying to put in the work anyway, really. You never know how good you can be. And I guess when you are crashing and trying to come back from injuries, you're always just trying to find the level you were at, but never any higher. So I guess by the time you get back to where you were always having another accident, and then just going straight back to square one. So looking forward now, what are you training for currently? Now the big goal is the Olympics.
So the road race there, it's probably one that really suits you,
I mean, looking at the course, it should suit me quite well. It's a long one, but it's going to be a crazy race with, the amount of starters is number one, and then just the level of the field. It's going to be completely different to a World Tour race where there's 180 guys lining up. There's only really 80 or 90.
And then what kind of sessions are you doing coming into the Olympics then? So the course, we've spoken about it on another pod, but it's sort of 3, 4, 5 minute climbs. So maybe even a little bit longer than some of the classic style climbs, but quite technical. Something that you've always been good at is positioning in the bunch anyway. What kind of sessions are you doing to make sure that you're flying for that? Is it similar to the classics prep?
Yeah, it's definitely similar. A lot of shorter efforts. There's 40-20s, 30-30s, that sort of stuff, not for super long periods of time.
Yeah. Are you doing some massive days, like to try and replicate the length?
Yeah, definitely. I spent some time in altitude up in Andorra, so that was my first altitude block to try and progress to the next level. Yep.
And is that something that the team coach put you onto, or the national team put you onto, or you just said yourself, I want to try and do this?
Yeah, you're always looking for advantage, so everyone's doing that these days. So
yeah, I'm not sure how much altitude's an advantage. It's just to stop yourself falling behind everyone else because everyone's doing it. But that's, it makes sense. Like if everyone's doing that to prepare for the Olympics, or you've got half the field, I guess, doing the Tour de France, which is probably the best 3-week training camp you can do to try and match those guys, you've got to do similar.
Exactly.
And then on those really long training days, are you doing hard efforts at the end of the days to try and replicate? Like, are you doing race sim kind of stuff, or are you keeping the long days separate to the hard sessions?
Bit of a mix, to be honest. For sure, looking at the classics, I was always kind of falling apart in those final 30Ks. So trying to replicate those hard efforts and doing efforts with a high level of fatigue was part of the plan, but you never know how it's going to pay off.
So have you been able to execute those efforts with that fatigue in the training, or is it something that's still been a challenge?
It's definitely a challenge.
Especially here, it's been crazy hot, so I imagine that comes into it, because if you're doing efforts 5 or 6 hours into a ride, it's probably 35 degrees wherever you are around here.
It's a big factor to it. I mean, hopefully it's not too hot on the day of the race, but I think it's just about being there and being in the race. And for me, no matter how the training goes, when I get to the start line, it's a completely different mindset. So,
and it is such a long race, pretty open race because there's small teams. So you're definitely someone that's suited to it. It's the kind of race where you could walk away with a gold medal, or you could walk away with absolutely nothing, and it could be the same set of legs either way.
100%.
So I guess, if you put in the work to be in the best position when you get there, that's all you can do, and then it's game on from there.
Exactly.
Right, we'll get into our usual questions. What is your favourite training session? You've been doing a lot of high intensity stuff now. Are those sessions you like, or is it something different?
Favourite training session, probably a rest day, to be honest. I like to recover from the hard days, and for me, training's not the favourite part. For me, it's the racing. So I guess, my favourite training session is racing and preparation for a race.
So in that classics block, you love that race recover aspect then?
Exactly.
Either racing or off the bike or coffee rides?
That's my dream.
Least favourite training session then?
Probably those 40-20s that I've been doing recently. It's pretty brutal putting yourself through that.
And so are you doing blocks of 10 or?
Blocks of 10.
Blocks of 10, and how many of those blocks in a ride?
3 or 4 depending on the day.
It's a pretty common setup then. What would be your favourite loop? I'm gonna guess from what you said earlier, there's probably gonna be something around Christchurch, where you're from?
Definitely.
What's the loop? Talk us through it.
Probably have to be out back home in Christchurch, up in the Port Hills, go Sign of the Kiwi, up and over, then out around the bays, and I like going out to a place called Purau, going out to the top of the climb there. Spend a lot of my days there, solo training back home.
Is that an out and back around the bay there, or you can make a loop?
You can make a loop if you want to have a gravel mission.
Yes. Do you do that often then?
Or? Not often. If I'm with a group and all the boys are committed, we'll definitely do it.
When you've got a few extra spare tubes available.
Exactly.
Nice. Okay, if you've got efforts, you've had these 40-20s, and it might be a bit different coming into the Olympics with the specifics, but do you get them done at the start of the ride, or do you save them for the end, or try and spread them out?
Spread them.
Spread them?
Spread them.
And then is that something that the coach is telling you to do, or you just like to keep the ride busy the whole time?
Just like to keep it busy.
Okay.
It's not I mean, it's usually a minimum period between the efforts, so I'm not doing them too much fatigue, so that they're all out each time.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so then you've got a good rest in between.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. When you've got the training plan from the team coach, are you someone that always sticks to the plan no matter what, or do you change it up based on how you're feeling?
Oh, I like to push it out from time to time.
Oh yeah?
Riding with Jensen, get carried away sometimes, so.
So you're more likely to do longer or do less?
Longer usually.
Oh yeah? Yep. Longer, and like, do you step on it sometimes as well, more than you should, or?
Yeah, probably press on a little bit too much from time to time, but
yeah, okay.
Yeah, for me, when the sun's shining,
just make the most of it. Make hay.
Yeah.
Are you a solo rider or in a group? What's your preference?
Preference would definitely be bunch ride.
Yeah, okay.
Getting out with a few good mates and people that you enjoy spending time with, it definitely makes
and
the.
You would have grown up in Christchurch with there's always good juniors coming through there, yeah, so you would have been always riding with decent groups there as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's something probably harder to do around here. You're in Vence now, not too far from Nice, but even still, it's pretty hard to tee up with us when you're in Nice. And then in Vence, there's a few guys, but not that many, so a lot of it would be solo here then.
Yeah, most of it is solo Ks around here.
Yeah. And then say it's raining outside, it's pretty rare here, probably a lot more common in Christchurch, maybe not in summer, but are you jump on the trainer or do you get it done in the rain?
Straight on the trainer.
Really?
Fair weather rider, yeah.
Yeah, never in the rain.
No.
In Vence, you actually get a bit of rain, especially in the Arvos, so do you have to commit to the trainer too much there, or you can time it okay?
No, I try to, if I see a cloud, I'll probably go on the trainer.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, trainer's not a problem for me. I quite enjoy chucking on a movie and sitting in front.
Oh, interesting. That's the first one of those we've had. Are you a stops on a ride or no stops?
Yeah, stops on a ride.
What's your favourite stop around here? What's your go-to boulangerie?
I'm more of a stop when there's a nice view and just have a look around and
just chill out.
Just if I'm by myself, it could be 30 minutes sometimes. So
really? Just chill on the side of the road?
Yeah, I like to enjoy my rides and.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's an interesting one. Oh, we do get plenty of good views around here. So we're looking at some good views on the TV right now around our home training roads. So we'll go through your food now. What's your go-to breakfast before a training ride?
Porridge every day.
Yeah, even when it's hot, you're still on the porridge?
Yeah, porridge.
Yeah. Porridge in winter, but I can't get through it. When it's this hot, I can't do the heat of it. On the bike, what's your favourite training food?
Anything that's sweet, usually.
Yeah, okay. Do you change it up much, or do you have a go-to?
Pretty stock standard. Most days it'd be the same.
Yep.
Nice bar.
Yeah, okay. And is it like race food from the team, or do you go down to Carrefour and grab some stuff? Or?
Yeah, I'm a bit of a back home. It's definitely don't take anything in the back pockets and usually stop, park up and just cookie time or something.
Yeah, cookie time. It's iconic.
Yeah.
And then after training, what's your go-to? You get in the door and you're starving after a 6-hour day. What do you shove in first?
Smoothie.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, smoothie. Nice berry smoothie.
Yeah, it's pretty refreshing here.
Yeah.
I've been on the smoothie train recently myself.
Yeah.
Do you ever dabble in low carb training, or are you always well fueled?
Usually pretty well fueled day.
Yeah, okay. Even if it's bunchy first thing in the morning in NZ, are you still waking up to get breakfast in?
From time to time I'll do the fasted ride.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And then when you're actually on it here, you're pretty much always well fueled there.
Yeah, when I'm by myself, it's usually quite a routine, so just go through the motions.
Yeah. And then do you do any cross training? Any stuff off the bike?
In the off season, definitely. I like to run.
Yeah, I saw you doing a few runs on Strava.
Get into
You're
that.
getting pretty quick there for a while.
Yeah, not too bad.
Yeah.
It's fun as fast.
Were you doing park runs, or you did some race?
Yeah, I did park runs.
Yeah.
Epic day. What a view. Somehow in first place, I think.
What was your time? Quickest time?
Low 16th.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty quick.
Yeah, I want to go under 16.
Oh yeah.
This offie.
Yeah, that's a good goal to set for the offie.
Yeah.
All right, well, speaking of fast, we'll get into the rapid fire would you rather. So 1-word answers for all of them. If we can, you might have some conditional answers, but
Sweet.
aero or lightweight?
Aero.
Disc or rim?
Disc.
Tubeless or clincher?
Tubeless.
Saddlebag or frame bag?
Saddlebag.
Socks over or under leg warmers?
Under.
Gloves or no gloves?
Racing always gloves.
Yeah.
Won't go on the start line, but training never.
Okay. Heat training or altitude training?
Heat training.
Town sign sprints or come hunting?
Town side sprints. Depends on the form.
If you got good form, you go for some comms?
Yeah.
Early morning or pro hours?
Pro hours.
Do you prefer a rest day or easy spin?
Rest day.
Pasta or rice?
Pasta.
Sweet or savoury?
Sweet.
Would you rather ride with a half wheeler or a wheel sucker?
Wheel sucker.
For a squeaky disc brake or a creaky bottom bracket?
Squeaky disc. Is it squeaking the whole time or?
Only when you're braking.
Squeaky.
Would you rather a hunger flat or severe dehydration?
Severe dehydration.
Finish off today with your best piece of advice.
Probably just getting out, like having consistency. Yeah. Consistency is key, I think, for our sport.
Yeah.
So if you can get out and do something, yeah, it's more just, doing that and enjoying it.
Yep.
Then,
Just don't worry too much about the specifics at the end of the day, just actually getting something done.
yeah, exactly.
Getting it done regularly. Yeah, I think that's a big one for sure. Probably one people in NZ might need to hear at the moment while the weather's a bit rough down there.
Yeah, for sure.
Get some work done even when it's not too great, then that's going to help you a lot in the long term. Well, thanks Laurence for coming on.
No
We're
worries.
going to get back to watching the tour stage. Enjoy your time here in Nice before you head back up to the hills in Vence. And good luck for the Olympics.
Cheers, thank you.
Cheers.